Beloved, Spirit never leaves you guessing. Before your blessing arrives, heaven always sends signs. They come like whispers in the wind, like patterns you cannot ignore, like divine reminders that what you have asked for is already on its way. Have you noticed numbers repeating before your eyes? Have you dreamed the same vision more than once? Have you overheard a phrase from a stranger's lips that spoke directly to your heart? These are not coincidences. They are confirmations. When manifestation is close, the universe begins to arrange signals around you. They are gentle nudges to lift your faith higher, to prepare your heart, to align your expectation. Spirit knows how easily doubt creeps in, how quickly fear tries to choke hope, so signs are sent as evidence. So you may walk by faith and not by sight. Florence Scovel Shinn taught that nothing ever happens without a sign. Every repetition, every symbol, every divine echo is heaven saying, do not quit now. The harvest is near. Beloved, if you keep seeing it, do not dismiss it. If the same number flashes before your eyes, if the same message returns again and again, if the same door keeps showing itself, know this: your manifestation is not far. It is standing at the threshold, waiting for your faith to open the door. Beloved, Spirit is always speaking. The challenge is not whether God speaks, but whether we notice. Manifestation is not a mystery to heaven. It is only a mystery to the human mind that doubts, forgets, and overlooks the signals placed in its path. But when your desire is close, when your faith is rising, when your vibration is aligned with the law of supply, Spirit begins to send signs as clear as day. These are heaven's way of preparing you, whispering, stay ready, for your good is near. A Florence Scovel Shinn declared, nothing happens without a sign. Before the harvest comes the bud, before the dawn comes the glow, before the blessing comes the signal. Spirit speaks in repetition, because repetition captures attention. That is why you notice numbers repeating. 1, 1, 1, 2, 2, 7, 7, 7. Each pattern carries a vibration, a reminder that the universe is not random but rhythmic. 1, 1, 1 whispers alignment. 2, 2, 2 announces balance. 7, 7, 7 signals completion. These numbers are not there to entertain you. They are signposts declaring that manifestation is already unfolding. But Spirit does not speak only through numbers. Spirit speaks through patterns, through echoes, through the alignment of events too precise to dismiss. You may hear a word in your spirit during prayer, and later a friend repeats it without knowing why. You may dream a symbol in the night, and later see it appear in the world before you. You may wrestle with a question in your heart, and then overhear the exact answer spoken by a stranger on the street. Beloved, these are not accidents. These are confirmations, heaven's language clothed in circumstance. Have you ever noticed how the same thought will not leave you, returning again and again, until you cannot ignore it? That persistence is not coincidence. It is Spirit insisting that you pay attention. The universe is aligning your awareness so that when the door opens, you will recognize it. Spirit prepares your inner sight before your outer eyes behold the manifestation. Beloved, I tell you this: the closer your blessing comes, the louder the signs will grow. At first, it may be a whisper, a gentle nudge, a fleeting repetition, but as your manifestation draws near, the signals multiply, becoming undeniable. Spirit wants you to be certain. Spirit wants you to be anchored. Spirit wants you to be able to say, I saw it coming, for heaven announced it beforehand. But why does Spirit send signs? Because doubt is quick to rise when the waiting grows long. The enemy of manifestation is discouragement. Signs are heaven's way of keeping you steady in faith. They are breadcrumbs along the path, guiding you toward the feast already prepared. When you see them, you are to rejoice, not question. You are to say, this is evidence. My manifestation is already in motion. Beloved, Spirit is not silent. Spirit is speaking through numbers, through people, through patterns, through whispers of intuition that cannot be explained by reason. When you are spiritually alert, you will see them. And once you do, you will never again call them coincidence. You will say, this is my sign. My manifestation is near. So the next time the number flashes before your eyes, the dream repeats, the phrase echoes back into your life, pause and declare aloud, I recognize the sign. Spirit is speaking. My good is on its way, for the universe always delivers, but it delights to give you a preview before the arrival. Beloved, signs do more than comfort you. They awaken the law of expectancy. Expectancy is the bridge between your desire and its manifestation. It is not idle wishing. It is not anxious waiting. It is the steady assurance that what you have asked for is already on its way. When signs begin to appear, they are not random sparks. They are Spirit's way of fueling your expectancy, reminding you to hold your faith high, to prepare your heart, and to get ready to receive. Florence Scovel Shinn often declared, "Faith knows it has already received and acts accordingly." This is the law of expectancy. To expect is to live as though the blessing is certain, as though the prayer is already answered, as though the supply is already delivered. Signs confirm that your words have not fallen on deaf ears. They are heaven's receipts, proof that your request is being processed in the unseen. Think of it like a letter sent through the mail. When you post it, you may not see it traveling, but you trust it is moving toward its destination. Then one day, a tracking notice appears. It is in transit. It is near. It is almost at your door. Beloved, signs are heaven's tracking notices. They tell you your manifestation has been released, and now you must remain in expectancy until it arrives in full. But here is the key: expectancy is not passive. It does not sit with folded arms and complain about the wait. Expectancy is active faith. It prepares the table before the guest arrives. It clears the space before the gift is delivered. It acts as if the promise is already here. When you expect, you do not ask, "Will it come?" You declare, "It is coming. It is close. It is mine." Beloved, this is why signs are so powerful. They stir expectancy. They remind you that the unseen world is already working. They shift your vibration from fear to faith, from doubt to confidence, from despair to joy, and your vibration is the magnet of manifestation. If you expect disappointment, you draw delay. If you expect failure, you invite frustration. But if you expect blessing, you call blessing forth. If you expect supply, you summon supply. The law is unbreakable. You attract what you expect. Have you noticed how expectancy changes your posture? A child waiting for a gift does not sulk. They look out the window. They run to the door. They listen for footsteps. Every sound excites them. Every signal lifts their hope, because they are certain the gift is on its way. That is how Spirit asks you to live when signs begin to appear. Not heavy with doubt, but light with expectancy. Not questioning, "Will it ever happen?" but declaring, "It is happening now." Beloved, the law of expectancy is faith clothed in anticipation. It is heaven's rhythm aligning with your readiness. When signs show up, Spirit is saying, "Rise higher. Stay steady. Do not give up before the breakthrough." The waiting season is not punishment. It is preparation. Expectancy keeps your spirit awake so that when the door opens, you are ready to walk through. So the next time you see the repetition, the symbol, the pattern, do not brush it aside. Smile, rejoice, and declare, "This is my sign. I expect my manifestation. I live as though it is already done." For the law is simple: what you expect, you attract. And when signs fill your path, heaven is saying, "The time is close." Expectancy will open the way. Beloved, when signs begin to appear, they are not vague hints or empty illusions. Each one carries meaning. Each one is Spirit's language, coded with truth for those who have ears to hear and eyes to see. If you keep seeing them, it is not to confuse you, but to confirm that your manifestation is near. One of the clearest signs is repeating numbers. Perhaps you see 111 flashing on a clock, on a receipt, on a license plate. This is not mere chance. 111 declares alignment. It is heaven saying, your thoughts, your words, your desires, and Spirit's plan are in perfect agreement. Or maybe you see 222 again and again. That is the number of balance and partnership. It is the signal that what you seek is being joined to you, that cooperation and union are near. And when 777 appears, it speaks of completion. It is the whisper of Spirit saying, the work is done. The manifestation is finished. Prepare to receive. Numbers are not random. They are vibrations. They are heaven's mathematics, announcing spiritual truths in earthly form. Another sign is the echo of words. Perhaps you are praying for clarity, and suddenly the same phrase appears in multiple places. You hear it in a song, read it in a book, and overhear it in a stranger's conversation. This is no accident. Spirit repeats until you recognize. These echoes are not to entertain you. They are instructions, confirmations, and reminders that your path is unfolding in divine order. Dreams are another language of spirit. When manifestation is close, the soul rehearses it in vision before it arrives in the natural. You may dream of doors opening, of walking into new places, of receiving gifts. These are not random pictures. They are previews. Spirit allows you to see ahead of time so your faith may be strengthened. Sometimes the sign is a sudden shift. A door closes unexpectedly. A delay interrupts your plan. A redirection moves you into a new path. At first it feels like setback, but beloved, it is alignment. Spirit removes what is not meant so you can stand exactly where blessing will meet you. That delay is not denial. It is preparation. That closed door is protection. That detour is placement. Each disruption is evidence that heaven is arranging the pieces for your manifestation to arrive perfectly. Pay attention also to the quickening of your spirit. You may feel sudden bursts of excitement without knowing why. Moments of peace that arrive out of nowhere. A sense of readiness that floods your heart. This is Spirit's way of preparing your inner self to match the outer blessing. Your soul knows what your eyes cannot yet see, that the blessing is near. Beloved, these signs are never meant to cause fear. They are meant to stir expectancy. Numbers, dreams, echoes, delays, inner nudges. Each one is a love letter from Spirit, assuring you that the unseen is already working in your favor. They are proof that heaven's hand is upon you, arranging, guiding, confirming. So when you see them, rejoice. Do not brush them aside as coincidence. Declare aloud, I recognize this sign. I know my manifestation is close. I give thanks now before it arrives, for the evidence Spirit has already shown me. Gratitude is the response that seals the sign into manifestation. To ignore the sign is to dismiss the confirmation. To honor it is to accelerate the blessing. Beloved, Spirit is always communicating, but when your manifestation is near, the signs multiply. They grow clearer, louder, more undeniable. Because heaven does not want you to miss what is coming. So watch with spiritual eyes, listen with a discerning heart. And every time you see the sign, let your faith rise higher, for it means only one thing: your manifestation is close. Beloved, a sign is not the blessing itself. It is the announcement of the blessing, and how you respond to it determines whether the manifestation flows easily or whether you allow doubt to block its arrival. Spirit sends signs not only to confirm, but to test your posture. Will you answer with faith, or will you let fear and overthinking steal your peace? Many see a sign and immediately slip into anxiety. They ask, but what does it mean? Am I missing something? What if it's not for me? Beloved, Spirit does not send signs to torment you. Spirit sends them to strengthen you. The moment you see a sign, your first response must be faith. Say aloud, this is my confirmation. My blessing is close. My manifestation is already on the way. These words anchor the sign into your spirit and align your vibration with heaven's decree. Florence Scovel Shinn often taught that every word is a decree. To respond to a sign with worry is to decree delay. To respond with doubt is to decree confusion. But to respond with gratitude and faith is to decree swift arrival. This is why your words matter most in the moment of confirmation. The sign is heaven's part, the response is yours. Beloved, when you see repeating numbers, do not brush them aside. Pause and give thanks. Whisper, thank you, Spirit, for the reminder that I am aligned. When you hear the echo of a phrase that speaks directly to your need, do not dismiss it. Declare, this word is mine. It confirms my manifestation. When a door closes or a delay shifts your path, do not curse it. Say, this is protection. This is alignment. This too is a sign that my blessing is near. The correct response to a sign is gratitude. Gratitude is the magnet that pulls unseen blessings into form. When you give thanks before the blessing arrives, you prove your faith. You show heaven that you already believe, and belief is the bridge that delivers. Signs are not to make you beg harder. They are to remind you to praise sooner. Another way to respond is through expectancy. Live as though the sign is proof of what is already yours. If you see the number 111, walk through your day declaring, I am aligned. I expect my blessing. If you dream of open doors, rise in the morning and say, today opportunities open before me. If you overhear a phrase of confirmation, take it as your daily decree and repeat it until it fills your atmosphere. Expectancy is active agreement with spirit. And above all, beloved, rest. A sign is not an instruction to strive harder. It is not a demand to force the outcome. It is a reminder to trust. The blessing is already moving toward you. The sign is the evidence. So instead of grasping, you rest. Instead of fretting, you trust. Instead of doubting, you affirm. Under grace and in perfect ways, my good arrives. Beloved, let this be your rhythm when the sign appears. Pause, give thanks, affirm, expect, and rest. This is how you honor the language of spirit. This is how you keep the channel clear. This is how you ensure that when manifestation knocks, you are ready to open the door. So the next time you see what cannot be ignored, the numbers, the echoes, the dreams, the shifts, do not hesitate. Say aloud, this is my sign. My manifestation is near. I give thanks now, for what I asked for is already mine. And in that moment, heaven smiles, for you have responded with faith, and faith always brings the unseen into the seen. Beloved, signs are powerful, but it is your daily decree that seals them into manifestation. Spirit may send confirmations, but your words and your faith invite the blessing into form. Florence Scovel Shinn declared, your word is your wand. A wand left unused cannot create. It must be lifted daily, spoken daily, wielded daily to shape the unseen into the seen. This is why you must establish a practice. Each morning, before the noise of the world enters, begin your day with decree. Stand tall, breathe deeply, and speak aloud with authority. I am aligned with spirit. I recognize the signs. My manifestation is close, and I receive it now under grace and in perfect ways. Do not whisper as though unsure. Declare it as law, for heaven responds to conviction, not hesitation. As you move through your day, signs will appear. Numbers repeating, echoes returning, opportunities shifting. Each time you see them, respond with a mini decree. Whisper, this is my sign. I expect my blessing. My manifestation is already unfolding. These short affirmations are like sparks that keep the fire alive. They stop fear from creeping in and remind your subconscious that the law is already working on your behalf. At night, before sleep, seal your spirit again with decree. Place your hand upon your heart and affirm, I rest in expectancy. Spirit is moving. While I sleep, my manifestation is arranging itself. I awaken to answered prayer, to divine supply, to abundance flowing. Beloved, do you see the rhythm? Morning, day, and night. Your words keep your channel open, your faith steady, your vibration high, and let gratitude flow with every decree. Gratitude is the proof of faith. To thank Spirit before the blessing appears is to declare, I already know it is mine. Gratitude turns decrees from empty words into living power. So after each declaration, pause and say, thank you. Thank you that it is done. Thank you that it is near. Thank you that it belongs to me by divine right. Beloved, here is a daily decree you may use, word for word, until it flows from your spirit without effort. I am aligned with divine law. I see the signs, and I know they are for me. My manifestation is close. Every day I grow nearer to my answered prayer. I walk in faith. I live in expectancy. I rest in gratitude. What I have spoken is already mine. It arrives in perfect timing, under grace, in perfect ways. And so it is. Repeat this decree 3 times in the morning, once whenever a sign appears during the day, and 3 times at night before sleep. Let it become the song of your soul, the rhythm of your breath, the anchor of your faith. Soon, beloved, you will not only see signs, you will see the manifestation itself standing before you. For Spirit is faithful. The signs are the preview, the decree is the invitation, and expectancy is the open door. Walk in this rhythm daily, and nothing can stop what heaven has already prepared for you. Beloved, we have walked together through the language of Spirit. We have seen how signs appear, how expectancy opens the way, how numbers, dreams, and divine echoes whisper that your manifestation is near. Now it is time to seal this truth with the final decree. Place your hand upon your heart, breathe deeply, and speak with authority.